Hey guys, Mr. Mom here. ¿Qué tal, Musial? Just doing a little video about the pregnancies. So when Junior was arriving or conceived, I knew I knew my ex-wife was pregnant before she knew it. I had a very strong gut feeling about it. I just knew. I knew, and she didn't believe me. She made me buy like 4 pregnancies tests. By the fourth one, I was like, "Look, just make an appointment with the doctor, and let's get this baby taken care of." And so, with Junior, the firstborn, it was a difficult pregnancy. Um, Baby mama didn't follow all the instructions of the doctor. So, as a man, gentlemen, you need to try to support baby mama as best as possible. Um, for example, they have to take these prenatal vitamins and pills and stuff like that, and they're very very large. Vitamin pills or whatever, they're very large. Don't go, holy crap, that looks like a horse pill. No, don't do that, because then they won't take them. They don't want to take them, because it's bad enough. Most people don't like taking pills. Period. No matter how small they are, they still don't like taking pills. So instead, try to just bring healthy food. If you get cravings for something, try to make it healthy. Especially once you get into the special cravings months. Um, do what you can. Fruits, vegetables. Nowadays, there's so many different uh, non-meat products that taste fine. Do what you can to help. So, what with Junior, apparently he wanted to come out sooner than what he was scheduled. So he would baby mama's stomach was a lot lower than what it was supposed to be. Like 4 months into it, it was already lowering, which usually lowering is like at 8 months or 7.5 months, 8 months. So she had to wear a special strap for support, uh, supporting the baby bump, um, basically. And she's supposed to be bedridden, but she wouldn't pay attention to that. And part I understand, because and she just didn't want to stay home by herself. Now, if we would have had social media like nowadays, probably wouldn't have been a problem. She could have stayed home, Facebook, FaceTime, Skyped, just all kinds of things to make her feel like there's company around. But back then, there wasn't any of that, and talking on the phone just wasn't sufficient enough. I'd get calls like 20 times a day. What do I do about this? What do I do about that? And I kept having to cut off the phone. Say, I'm at work. I gotta, get back to work. So she'd walk a few miles to her sister's and just hang out there with her sister, but she wasn't supposed to do that walking. That's what was putting her at more at risk. But she wasn't listening to doctors' recommendations, or actually instructions. At that point, they were straight instructions. The doctor a couple of times, you need to stop, but she wouldn't stop. Her sister didn't drive, so it's not like her sister can go pick her up. So it was just one of those things where she felt alone and she didn't want to get up, or a combination too. She didn't want to get up early in the morning for me to drop her off at her sister's first, because usually she said, no, I'm not going to go to, and then a couple hours later she ended up going anyway. And so after work, I'd go straight to her sister's house, pick her up, and then of course at that point she would have company. So it was difficult, but I went to all the appointments for both pregnancies. I'd say I went to at least 99% of them. I think I may have missed one because it was something minor, just to refill a prescription or something like that. So it wasn't necessary. But other than that, the nurses and stuff like that, midwives, they knew me. I asked a lot of questions. They didn't feel annoyed by it. They thought I was pretty good and pretty thorough. I took notes on stuff like that. Um, so for both pregnancies, both my kids were able to leave the hospital a day early than normally scheduled. Because of me. They're like, oh, it's him. He's like a midwife. Yeah, go ahead. He can go. The midwives and nurses would explain it to if it happened to be a different doctor, if it wasn't a regular doctor, they were like, yeah, it's him. He knows what he's doing, and so they let my kids go, both of them go a day earlier than planned, which was good. You always hear that, oh yeah, they're trying to get everybody kicked out as quickly as possible. But I mean, there's certain things that you don't want to get kicked out of the hospital quickly enough. But I wanted to get home with my babies as quickly as possible. And since I had a good handle on things, they would let us leave early. So give as much support as you can, guys. Ladies, we're gonna do stupid stuff. We're gonna do silly stuff. Just be patient with us and try your best to be patient. Listen to the doctors, what they instruct and what they recommend. They're not saying it just for saying it. Midwives are wonderful. Nurses are wonderful. They all help out for the development of your child. Now, one of the very important questions that I didn't realize at the time, I thought it was a silly question, but they entertained it, was when your water breaks, when a woman's water breaks, just in case, what does it smell like? Odd question, I know, probably not the most common question, but I did ask, and I was told it smells like ammonia. Well, it was a good reason that it was a good thing that I did ask what it smells like, because when Jenny was about to be pregnant, um, because of such a difficult pregnancy, one of the midwives tried to break the water ahead of time, and so she stuck her finger in, and scraped the try to puncture the placenta and all that stuff to make her water break. But all she did was she scratched it. Then when it came the day for Junior to be born, well, she was leaking. Instead, it didn't just go flush, like you always see. Just all of a sudden, there's the flood. No, she was leaking. She kept going to the restroom and changing her underwear, and she was embarrassed to say anything. This is something key. You need to keep communications with whoever's around you to support you. You need to keep open communication about things. And she wasn't telling me until finally I basically went into the hamper, pulled out an undie, and smelled it, and smelled like ammonia. I was like, "You're going into labor. We need to go. Your water didn't just break for whatever reason, but we need to go." Went to the hospital, and she took forever to dilate. They tried to make her dilate. She took forever to dilate because basically her water prematurely broke. So Junior did have oxygen deprivation. They were starting to set up everything for the C-section for Junior to be born, and then all of a sudden, just within half an hour or whatever, all of a sudden she dilated to the full 10 that they require. And so they started setting up for the birth and everything like that. And then the midwife, was getting her stuff ready. Mom's right here with her legs open and stuff like that. Yeah, right. And all of a sudden she turns and plop, the baby just fell right into her hands. If she had walked away I need to get this, get that, Junior would have just been on the floor. So it was really wild that happened. But you gotta be very, very careful. Something I did not know would affect the birth of my child. He has learning disabilities later on, but it is what it is. Angelica, my daughter, my brat, she was fine. Her water broke normally. Got to the hospital and she came out quick. She was fast when she came out. Mom dilated quickly on that one, and she came out really, really fast. It was almost to the point where she thought she had to go to the restroom, because women get the urge of going to the restroom. And it wasn't that she had to go to the restroom. It turned out that the baby was coming out. So she came out really, really fast. Also, all of a sudden, plop, she just popped out. But again, both babies were able to go within a day earlier than necessary, a little over a day, because they even count by hours. It's like 26 hours ahead of time. Just because baby mama had support from an appropriate person. Not all situations call for the dad to be available. It could be a sister, it could be mama, it could be, best friend, uh, whatever. But if you have that good open communication and you're open to being helped, and you're open to helping that person, everything could go pretty well. Um, yeah. So those are the pregnancy months, the pregnancies, and let me know how your experience was. Drop a line. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.